Hello class 7 boys. Today let us discuss a few numerical problems from the chapter of energy. Let us discuss question number 1 on page number 41. Numerical problem. Question number 1. A body of mass 40 kg is running at 1 meter per second inside his classroom, which is on the second floor of his school. If each floor is 12 meter above the one below, then find his kinetic energy and potential energy. Right, okay, let us see how do we go about this question. Okay, so now let us calculate his kinetic energy first. Okay, now what is the mass of the body given? The mass of the body is given as 40 kg. And what is the velocity he's running? He's running with a velocity of 1 meter per second. Okay, so as you are aware, what is the relation that gives us kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is equal to half into m into v square. So half into what is the mass? The mass is given as 40 kg into v is 1 meter per second. Okay, so this will be 2 1 are 2, 2 20s are, so 20 into 1 square is 1, so 20 joules. So what is the kinetic energy of the boy? The kinetic energy of the boy is 20 joules. Okay, now this was for A, kinetic energy. Now let us calculate for B, which is the potential energy. Okay, we'll just abbreviate it as potential energy, PE. Now for potential energy, what is the mass of the boy? The mass of the boy remains the same, 40 kg. Okay, you might be aware that potential energy is given by the relation m into g into h. Okay, so mass of the body, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height of the body above the ground level. Okay, so that means we need to find g. So what is g? Usually g is taken as 10 meter per second square. G is the acceleration due to gravity, or sometimes we take it as 9.8 also. Okay, so here let us take it as 10 meter per second square and h. Okay, now in the question it says if each floor is 12 meter above the one below, then okay, so what will be the height? So the height of the first floor is 12 meter from the ground. Okay, and the boy is running in the second floor, so this 12 meter for the first floor, and then again this 12 meter for the second floor. So what does his total height become from the ground? His total height becomes 24 meter. So once we have the mass, acceleration due to gravity, and the height, we can easily determine the potential energy. So the potential energy of the boy is given by m into g into h. So mass is 40 kg into g is 10 meter per second square, and your height is 24. Okay, so let us multiply this. So we have 40 into 10 is 400 into 24. So this will give us 4 4s 16, carry over 1, 4 2s 8, 96, and 2 zeros 0 joules. So what is the potential energy possessed by the body? The potential energy possessed by the body is 9600 joules. Okay, now okay, similarly let us check question number 2. Okay, question number 2 reads as, consider a moving cart of mass 120 kg with a kinetic energy k. Okay, let us read the question here. Consider a moving cart of mass 120 kg with a kinetic energy k. If its velocity is doubled, how much should the mass be decreased so that the kinetic energy does not change? How much should the mass be decreased so that the kinetic energy does not change? Okay, so let us see how do we go about it. Okay, quickly change the page. Right, here we go. Okay, consider a moving cart of mass 120 kg. So this is question number 2. So what is the mass of the cart? 120 kg with a kinetic energy k. So let us, the velocity is not given, so let us take it as v. Okay, let us take the velocity as v. Okay, and the kinetic energy is given by half into m into v square. So kinetic energy is equal to half into m is 120 into v square. So 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12, 0. So kinetic energy is equal to 60 v square. Okay, now what does the question say? If its velocity is doubled, Okay, now what is happening to the velocity? The velocity is double. That means what is the velocity becoming? The velocity is becoming 2v. We have to find what would be the mass, by how much the mass has to be decreased, and the kinetic energy is remaining the same. The kinetic energy has to remain the same. That means the kinetic energy has to remain as 60v square, which was in the first case. Okay, so let us see. So kinetic energy is equal to half into m into v square. So what is the kinetic energy? It should remain as 60v square is equal to half into mass we don't know into what is the velocity. The velocity is becoming double, that means 2 times, so 2v whole square. So this implies 60v square is equal to half into m into, this square is for both, for 2 and v as well. Okay, so 2 square will become 4 into v square is v square. So we can cancel 2 1 is 2, 2 2 is 4. So this gives us 60v square is equal to, what is there, m into 2 into v square. That's it. Okay, now our main target is to find the value of m. So what we will do, we will make m as the subject of the formula, and rest everything will cross multiply to the other side. So which means 60v square divided by the 2 cross multiplies to the denominator, and the v square also cross multiplies to the denominator. 2 into v square and we get m. So we'll cancel the v square and the v square will cancel out each other. Then we have the 2 and this will go 30 times. So what should be the mass? The mass should be 30 kg. So by how much do we need to decrease the mass? Initially the mass was how much? 120 kg. Now the mass has to become 30 kg. So the mass has to be decreased by 90 kg, so that even if the velocity is doubled, what happens? The kinetic energy is unchanged. The kinetic energy, it remains the same. Okay, I hope the working of this question is clear to you. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can always clear your doubts when we are having our online classes. Okay, so we have one more question. Okay, so let us discuss this question as well. Question number 3. A box with 50 marbles is at a height of 50 meter. If each marble weighs 25 gram, how much potential energy does the box of the marble have? Okay, so let us see how do we go about it. Okay, so I'll just change the page for you. Right, here we go. Okay, so question number 3. So first we'll try to find the mass, because we are supposed to find the potential energy. So as you are aware, what is potential energy? Potential energy is given by m into g into h. That